Welcome to a Sunday short. Because this is a short episode, I'll keep the intro short, but we asked you if you would like a short version of the podcast where we take some of those best bits from the pod that might have been hidden away in an hour-long conversation that you might have missed, and then we bring it into a bite-sized chunk for you to enjoy. So the first one that came to mind was Gal Aga from Aligned, obviously one of the fastest growing and most highly rated companies in the world, what his views were around the mistakes that businesses make while they try to move up market, which is what everyone wants to do. So he talks about his experience as a revenue leader, as well as now as a founder, in the common mistakes that people make and how Aligned are doing themselves. So enjoy this episode. If you like it, then you can watch the full episode afterwards. We'll put a link in the comments. Enjoy. Happy Sunday. So Gal, the other thing that I would love to talk about is moving up market. I know in our pre-chat we spoke about how every business wants to move up market, move into the enterprise, but a lot of businesses get it wrong and there's some mistakes that are consistently made. What do you see as the big mistakes that people make in their attempt to move up market?
Yeah, I would start with something that maybe not a lot of companies will love to hear, is that they're probably not ready for enterprise sales. Like most people think, when they think about moving up market, they think about, hey, let's go to the enterprise. And I would say maybe 90% of companies are just not ready. I've led teams that were closing $1 million deals, and I've seen also CEOs fire half their team because the enterprise push failed. I've seen a lot of enterprise sellers get hired and then say, yeah, I'm still working, I'm still building pipeline, we're still building progress, we're going to have a POC soon, and we're making progress, and like it's 6 months and 9 months and the company needs revenue. Like there's so many things going on there, and I get it. It connects a lot what we talked about earlier, expectations from board. Again, I don't want to be anti-board. I have a great board and really they're very helpful, but you get the questions of, hey, higher ACV, we need higher ACV, and then the immediate thing that everyone say, you need to go more up market. We want to see the Apples and the Googles and all of these bigger logos. That's how things go. But then I recently wrote a post about it. There are 5 really main challenges, and one is people tell themselves, yeah, we'll just use the same product and we'll just go and sell it now to Apple. Okay. That just doesn't work. It's a new persona, it's a new competition, like new business needs, even like a lot of things are new. Second thing that they're saying is our current sales team can just close bigger deals. Like they're great. Well, but enterprise AEs are complete different breed. To really land the big numbers, the AEs can maybe move 50% higher in ACV, something like that, and with really a lot of coaching. But if you take an AE that's used to closing 20K deals and now bring them to a six figure deal, they just won't be able to do it. They don't get the mentality, they don't get building business cases, speaking with executives. It just doesn't work the same way. Or they're thinking, okay, so we just hire an enterprise AE from Oracle, okay, and they've done $5 million last year, okay, they'll crush it. But then it can take like a year, really, and we can talk about this more, but really, if you hire someone right now, you'll get them in May. I don't think they'll close a single deal this year. They might close one POC, which will be a one-time payment for a POC. Or they're saying we just need meetings with bigger logos and then everything will work. But demand generation, marketing for the enterprise is different than marketing in volumes. It's events, it's different thing. And the last thing that people tell themselves, okay, let's just, level up sales. Like we think sales are ready, but CS might not be ready. A CSM, it's the same thing. A CSM that can manage a five-figure customer is not the same CSM that can manage a high six-figure customer. It's just completely different skill set, the same way as AEs. So these are the challenges.
What's one thing, if you think about each of those challenges, what's the one thing you would tell people to do to start mitigating those challenges and overcome them?
I think people need to just first realize that enterprise doesn't mean bigger deals. It means a whole new go-to-market motion. And growing ACV over time is critical, but if you try too fast, you just get burned, and you need to do this. You need to first learn that this is go-to-market motion, and try to be more strategic and holistic about how you do it. So a few things that you can go and do is just work on complex selling skills, right? Like work with the team on what it is to build business cases, better discovery. It's typically discovery, just discovery, training. That's how you grow ACV. Because if you sell a product level problem, you get a certain level of payment. Okay, like the CFO hears, oh, okay, it's like this thing that solves this efficiency or here and there, but when you learn how to run discovery that uncovers a business transformation and why something is critical for the company, then they can tie it into a six-figure problem. Okay, so teaching complex selling skills, updating pricing models, playing around with and testing, giving your head of sales, hey, go wild. Okay, let's go on calls and just test. Okay, bringing our pricing up by 20-30%, or let's try this kind of plan. What do you think about maybe doing this? Or give them a full project to go and research and experiment. That works. Like I have a story about at Syte, we doubled ACV from 70 to 160 range, more than double, by doing that. Another thing is splitting SMB to mid-market. That's something that really works well. So you're not yet really going to the enterprise, but the same AEs trying to sell high velocity, going on a call, and then sometimes it's the same effort, okay, to bring a 50K deal and a 20K deal. Sometimes it's the exact same effort, but you need to be more strategic to really be able to have the same win rate. So that split works. More enterprise level features involving management more, and buying aligned. that's another one.
That's the answer. It triggered for me is that we had Adam Baker on. He's a CEO of DealPad, and he talked about growing average order value from like 20K to like 200K. And one of the things that he focused on was solving bigger problems. And it was all about discovery, exactly what you've said. So founders are aligned on that thing.
Yeah.
And I think it's one of the most forgotten skills. Everyone focuses in sales training around, negotiation and closing and all these things. And actually the principle that you really have the context behind the business and you're asking deep enough questions and finding out enough stakeholders and what they care about to work out how this isn't just a point solution. This is like you say, a transformation, or like it's going to literally completely revolutionize their business. You will be a multiplier for their business. And when you find people who would advocate you as a champion to help you to multiply their impact as a human being in their business trying to grow, then that's when you start to find it. And I'm just wondering, when you're talking about the skill of discovery, what's some of the most important things for you when you're talking about becoming world-class at discovery?
Yeah. Okay. So I think a few things. One is first to understand that discovery is not for you. Okay. I think there's discovery and there's qualification.
Yeah.
Okay. Qualification is for you. It's also for them. You don't want to waste their time, but it's qualify in, qualify out. And I think a lot of reps look at discovery and they're thinking about it from their perspective. Okay. And it's a lot of things in sales is just about mindset switch, like these aha moments that you finally get something. And I think hopefully that would help people relate, because like most salespeople, I feel like they're looking at it as, okay, I need to see that there's a problem. Okay. If there's a problem, then yeah, we could go through the process, right? Because there's a problem. And then it's for me. But and if there's a problem, my manager will let me go through Medpic and won't be mad at me. And then it's in the forecast. Okay, that's the level 1, I think, where most salespeople and like end up stuck at really for a while. Then level 2 is if you go from understanding that discovery is to help a buyer, right? Is to help them realize what their problems are. Okay, so you understand that you use the discovery to help them think about their problems differently, and then okay, and then you need the discovery in order to do a demo, like, because these are the things that they care about, but beyond what they care about, this is really where things hurt. And my demo needs to be not a walkthrough, it needs to be a problem validation journey. Okay, you mentioned this problem, validate. This problem, validate. And now I think the level 3 of discovery is when AEs are realizing the whole sales process is discovery. Okay, this is the essence of selling. It's who's involved in decision-making process, asking that on every call, and what are the steps, and aligning on the steps. The last call we mentioned, do we need to do this and that next? So that should happen until you close. Like, things could change, right? And throughout, and then you're on one call, like we're on one call with the sales director, then they bring in their team, and then they're bringing in RevOps, and then they're bringing in enablement. Each one of these people needs separate, different discoveries, because they're coming from different directions of the business. So all of these processes discovery, and all of the discovery results in a business case, right? It results in something that happens in a 30-minute discussion eventually in a room between a few stakeholders, or a CFO, CEO, and a champion, over this one page, or they're having a 5-minute conversation after months. So all of your discovery really pain related, problem related, impact related adds in that. So I think that's the third element, and that's when AEs really realize that this is what they're doing, that the essence of selling is that discovery, and everything ends in that business case, and everything should lead to that business case. The level of understanding that I'm developing throughout the sales process should result in me being able to digest and everything into such a compelling one-page case that someone cannot ignore and cannot say no to. That's where you master it.
I love it. I was going to ask you on this topic, because I think it's really fascinating, is you are building a business. You know, you've got your Series A funding, you're winning awards. Where are you in the process of starting to move up market, and what are you doing to get there?
Yeah, so we're doing everything that I just said. Everything that I said, we're in the process from the day we started. We're all the time moving more and more and more and more. And we're deliberately not going too high, not developing the features that we know that are going to matter for the biggest organizations. Right now, our biggest customers are 5,000 to 10,000 employees, but it's not a lot of them. So we have a few companies with between 500 to 1,000 users, but we're not equipped to 50 customers like that tomorrow. Okay, so, and because for us, we're a PLG business and a direct sales business, and PLG in essence pulls you downwards. So a lot of companies can go and say, and that's what we did at Syte. So the 40K to 70K range, that's it. We're not selling them anymore. Okay, that ACV, that's it. We stop, and now our entry is going to be 70K. Now they don't answer these leads, they deflect them, they kind of they qualify them right at the SDR level, they tell them the price, and then they qualify themselves out. So as a PLG business, we can't do that, because everyone can use the product. We have pricing to self-serve. So we're constantly kind of moving higher and higher and higher, and and using everything that I mentioned earlier.
What did you learn from the episode with Gal?
He's one of the most considered people. We asked him questions, and a few times he would ask us like to clarify the question because he really wants to answer it in the right way. Like if you ask me a question, I'll just start talking, and then halfway through I'll go, "What am I talking about?" So he's reached this level of like, what's the right word? It's like conscientious. He's just like he really thinks, really cares, very intentional. Like he talks about how he writes his posts. He does 3 posts a week rather than posting every day, which you're supposed to post every day. He spends like 4 hours writing a post. It just says everything about it, and then his posts go and hit, goodness knows how many hundreds of thousands of impressions, and he wins all this business off the back of it. Since they launched their Series A, they like tripled their like ARR, like ridiculous. So I think I just learned that you don't have to be like a big hype man. It's not all about like charisma, even though he has wonderful charisma. But there's just this credibility and trust, and I loved the podcast that we did with him. I really loved it, but I was like, I could definitely have talked to him for another 2-3 hours because there's so much I'd love to know about him, his like mindset, how he approaches LinkedIn, why that's so important. But I think we got a masterclass in, and it challenged the assumption around what does it mean to be building a brand today. It's not about volume. It's about like the dark funnel. It's about capturing demand. It's not just about whack on a load of sales resource and then go and give them the job of going and building it. He's built this brand that people absolutely love. Like when Meredith joined, we said it on the podcast, but I was like, oh my God, she's joined Aligned. What a cool business. And I didn't realize that they're a 30-person business. So they're so early in their journey. I just signed up for Aligned and I'm starting to use it now. And it is as cool as everyone talks about. And he's got like #1 G2 reviews in the world, taking on the biggest competitors. Like to build a business that cool, that small, that's going to be that big. He talks about his 3-year goal being that it's a 100 million ARR business. There's no doubt in my mind that they're going to get there. What did you learn from Gal?
I think it goes back to what makes him tick. You said obsession.
With what makes the top 1%
tick. Yeah. It's that thing about obsession,
yeah.
And in the right healthy way, like what that looks like and just how obsessed you have to be to actually be great at things is, that was something that really resonated with me. And then also what he talked about in terms of not going up market before you're ready and having that really honest conversation with, am I actually ready? What does that really look like? And I think that that's probably something that comes through quite a lot from his content and stuff like that, is that concept of like readiness. Do you know what I mean? And like, have you done all the right things to actually be ready? Do you understand what you need to be thinking about on that next level? Because most of us actually don't. Like, so when I went to America and I tried out for the college basketball team, that's when I realized like, I'm not going to the NBA. I'm not even good enough to be in a college basketball team. Do you know what I mean? But it was only when I was shown this is what is required of you. And I feel like that's what Gal does on a 3 times a week basis, is just show you like, this is what's required of you. Are you actually ready?
Yeah. Without ever like promoting the business, right?
Yeah.
Because if I look at his posts, I go, I love Aligned. What a great company. Like they must be massive. They might be massive. They're winning all these awards, la la la. His content does this well. But he doesn't like go, here's what it does. There's no features and benefits. It's like, we're like, and he talks about it. We want to like raise the category.
Yes.
Like we want to shine a light on this category.
Yeah.
So it's this whole like the rising tide lifts all boats. Whereas most startups, we've been taught for years, we are the best company in the world. We need to win. Like we need to beat our competition, or we don't even have competition. And it's like, he's not thinking that way. He's like, let's go and help everyone. And if we can help enough people, then like good things are going to go and happen.
Because someone I learned it somewhere, it was about, you can either grow the whole pie, right? So for example, companies like Apple, Nike, they grow the whole pie, right? So even if you still stay at 20% market share, the pie is bigger, so you get more. Some people say, okay, don't care about the rest of the pie. I'm just going to eat more and more and more and more. But that's such a limited way of thinking. But I think the way that Gal and the team are doing things, they're not only going to grow the pie, but they're also going to grow their share of the pie. And it's going to be like a unicorn. It's going to be amazing.
Because there's a lot of competition in that space.
I didn't even know about that space until I heard about Gal. So it's like, they are absolutely growing the pie.
Yeah, there's lots. But no, he's just amazing. I think we need to get Gal back on to talk about some other topics, because he's just a phenomenal person, and I just can't wait to see what him and Meredith are going to build with Aligned over the next few years. Thank you for listening and watching this Best Bits short. If you like this, tune in next Sunday for our next special part of our favorite episodes. And if you love the main podcast, every Thursday we introduce you to a new virtual mentor so you can hear their career story and answers to the biggest questions in tech. See you on the next episode.